my child, I finally managed to leave him. His outrage and anger when I left him followed me around for over 10 years. Threats came my way. All those years when I was terrified that he would do as he threatened. One of these taunts was that he would have my face cut so badly, no man would ever want to look at me again. Another was that he would take my daughter away from me. Threats that made me shake each time I received them. My daughter was not even 5 when I left him, and I did my best to wipe her memories of him away. Even so, she had nightmares about him, and those nightmares when she was tiny continued until she was almost in her teens. It was when she was 17 and had gone on Facebook that he managed to track us down again. She didn't ever want to see him again. Her memories of him are not that vivid, but her dreams were, and they came back to haunt her. So why did I not go to the police with those taunts and those messages? Because he made me believe that he and his family had contacts in the force. Little wonder that him departing this world has changed everything for me. Even so, I have really had to force myself to dig out so many memories and allow them to be printed in this book. It's been a painful process, and it's not that easy to have the many wrong steps I took on my journey from child to adult written down for all to read. But I hope it helps someone. Anyone. So here goes. Part 1. Chapter 1. Like most other cities, the streets of Leeds are full of people busying themselves shopping during the daytime. Just a few glances at the younger ones gives you an indication of who they are. Strolling around in groups, immersed in deep and earnest conversation, water bottles or takeaway coffees in their hands, tells me they are most probably students. Others, more smartly dressed and walking with purpose and confidence, tell me that they have left university and have now obtained an upmarket job in the thriving businesses in Leeds city centre. Another glance, and I see the big issue sellers hovering on every corner, asking passers-by to buy one of their magazines. They have been trained to interact with the public, and don't feel that they are either jobless or beggars, which gives them some pride, unlike very few of the next group. These are the homeless, who sit near the doors to shops, often ignored by passers-by. Over the years, I have seen the number of these individuals has increased in the streets of our cities. There are some who have learnt how to capture the eyes of those walking towards them. They have made sure they have a well-groomed dog with them, and that they themselves look neat and presentable. Behind them is their bag containing a few paltry possessions, and on their faces a smile with just enough charm to persuade people to drop a few coins into their plastic cups. Lastly, there are the ones people tend to avoid and act as though they do not even exist, or at least wished they didn't. If they do look at them, their pale faces and skinny frames send the message to everyone nearby them that they are the drug addicts or alcoholics. To many, they represent a threat, appearing dangerous, but to me, they are often just people with a sad past. Doesn't anyone ever pause to think what happened to make them end up like that? Judging from the way the public hurry past, refusing to look at their thin wrists and grubby outstretched hands, or to hear the defeated voices pleading for money for food, I don't think so. It is only the charities that bring food out later in the day. They don't ask questions or ignore those who are dishevelled or dirty, or the addicts. As far as they are concerned, everyone needs to eat to stay alive. Looking at these people on the streets, I can tell that it was not many years ago that they were small children. Where are their families, I wonder? I wish I could get people to think about them differently, and not always consider them the scum of the earth. They weren't born that way, were they? I have heard what many people think, that those on drugs are parasites who rob old people of their bags and race away laughing. Even worse, they might follow them home, break in, and beat them nearly to death in return for a tenner. Yes, I must admit, there are those who have committed terrible crimes.